Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest and maybe one of the most unsettling questions in all of science. You look up at the night sky, you see all those stars, trillions of them, and the math tells you we should not be alone. But all we hear is silence. And that leads to one single, really nagging question.
And it all started, believe it or not, with that simple question. It was apparently asked over lunch by the absolute genius physicist Enrico Fermi. They were chatting about UFOs, and his question just cut right through all the noise and launched this cosmic mystery that we are still wrestling with today. Where is everybody?
I mean, just think about the sheer numbers for a second. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, has hundreds of billions of stars, and we now know that planets orbiting those stars are pretty much everywhere. The probability, just the raw numbers, suggests that the universe should be absolutely teeming with life, maybe even bustling with civilizations. And yet, when we point our best instruments out there, we get nothing. Just this deep, profound silence. That's the core of what we call the Fermi Paradox.
Okay, so to try and get a handle on this, an astronomer named Frank Drake came up with an equation way back in 1961. You could almost think of it like a cosmic recipe. You start with how many new stars are forming, then you multiply that by the chances they have planets, then the chances those planets could support life, and you just keep going down the list. Now here's the kicker. Even when you plug in really conservative, careful numbers for each of those steps in the recipe, the final answer, n, which is the number of civilizations we could detect, it almost always comes out as greater than 1, sometimes a lot greater. So the very tool we designed to estimate the number of aliens just makes their absence even more mysterious.
So there it is. That's the contradiction. All the evidence suggests they should be out there, but our observations say they're not. And that contradiction points to a really chilling possibility, a prime suspect in this whole case of the missing aliens.
And that suspect has a name: the Great Filter. It's this idea that somewhere on that long road from primordial ooze to a civilization that's hopping between galaxies, there's at least one step that is just almost impossibly hard. It's like a final exam for life itself, a wall that almost nobody gets over.
So the crucial question, the one that really matters, is figuring out where this filter might be. Is it some impossible hurdle that we, humanity, have already somehow miraculously cleared, or is it a threat that's still waiting for us up ahead? The answer to that question has some pretty profound implications for every single one of us.
This really leaves us with two, frankly, terrifying possibilities. See, on one hand, if the filter is behind us, that means we are unbelievably rare. We've won a cosmic lottery against odds that are just staggering. But on the other hand, if that filter is still ahead of us, then that cosmic silence out there isn't emptiness. It's a graveyard, and we might just be the next to join it.
So, let's explore the first option. If we got lucky, where was the big hurdle? Well, maybe it was the very first step, that spark of life itself, what scientists call abiogenesis. Or maybe it was the leap from really simple bacteria-like cells to the complex cells that make up you, me, and every plant and animal. That only happened once in 4 billion years here on Earth. Or, hey, maybe getting intelligence like ours just isn't something evolution does very often. This is the optimistic view, right? It means we're special.
But what if the filter is in our future? If that's the case, then the silence is a warning. It could mean that once a civilization gets powerful technology, it almost always uses it to destroy itself. But there's an even darker theory out there called the dark forest. In this version of the universe, everyone is a hunter, and the only way to survive is to stay perfectly silent. Because the moment you reveal your location, you invite immediate and total annihilation from someone or something you never even saw coming.
So what on earth does this all mean for us, right now? The thing is, we're not just some passive observers in this cosmic detective story. We are living it. Our actions, the choices we make today, could be the very thing that decides whether we become just another silent statistic.
This whole thing really forces you to think about our place in the cosmos, doesn't it? I mean, are we the first ones to make it this far? Are we carrying this precious torch of consciousness for the entire galaxy? Or are we just another candle, flickering really brightly for a moment before being snuffed out just like all the others that came before us?
And this really boils the whole dilemma down, doesn't it? It's a choice between this incredible, magnificent cosmic loneliness and a potential, almost certain, cosmic doom. One path says we have this huge responsibility. The other suggests we should have this urgent existential dread.
So in the end, The great filter is really a mirror. The silence of space just reflects our own deepest hopes and our own deepest fears right back at us. And it leaves us with one final, haunting question that we have to answer for ourselves. When you look out at all that emptiness, are you seeing a cradle just waiting for us to fill it with life? Or are you seeing our own grave?